You're listening to TG1F, an F1 podcast with Kate and Nicole.
We're your hosts. I'm Kate.
And I'm Nicole.
And this is our show, where we talk about all things Formula One.
And a lot of things that are not Formula One, too.
Because why the heck not?
This is your formal invitation to a weekly hangout with your F1 BFFs, where we'll talk on-track action, off-track gossip, and throw in some hot pop culture topics.
It doesn't matter if you're a seasoned F1 fan, a curious newbie, or literally just think the drivers are hot. Because they are. There's a little something in this podcast for everyone.
Speaking of which, did you hear what happened this week?
No, tell me about it.
This is a much better angle than last time. Last time Riley said it looked like you were lying in a hospital bed.
I saw that. I was like, please. Not the hospital bed. Can you hear me?
I can, loud and clear.
Oh, over and out. Can you hear me? Over.
Copy.
10-4, 10-4. I don't know what that one is, but I know it's something. I feel like I kept the pillow on the chair today, and I feel so, like, erect.
I didn't like that.
I don't think I liked that either, actually. Came out, didn't like it. I feel very, like, good posture. How about that?
You have lumbar support.
I do.
I've got your lumbar support.
It's, like, more than that. It's, like, full, like, it's my entire back.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I don't usually get this.
No slouching here today.
One thing about me, I'm finding a way.
We're in our Alex St. How do you say her last name? Malou? Malou? We're in our Alexandra St. Malo era, okay? Mm-hmm. Good posture only.
Yeah, except one thing about me is I will find a way to slouch no matter what.
Always.
So just wait for it.
Love good slouch.
Soon I'll be just like...
Okay, Quasimodo.
Literally.
How you been? How's the 2 days since I've seen you?
Finally, we get to say something like that. I feel like it's been so long.
I know. We couldn't spoil the surprise that we were going to see each other last week on the offshoot that Nick listened to the podcast.
For one.
And we ruined the surprise birthday party for him. So we couldn't say, we'll see you soon, because we had to lie. And we had to lie. Cool.
And it's not a lie. A lie by omission is not always a lie.
You're right.
So.
Just a little fib.
It was just not the whole truth.
No.
We just didn't expand.
Right. And
like, we didn't say, I won't see you this weekend. We just said bye. Like we didn't say anything about it. So
yeah.
I feel like I feel like I'm like in school right now. Like this I don't know how to like sit. I don't know what this doesn't feel like. I don't know how I feel in this chair.
So take the pillow off.
I don't know if that's going to be better or worse.
So, all right. Well, you test it out.
I'm testing out the hand on hand like pose almost. Like, how is this? Do I look? Does it look more normal than it feels?
I guess. I don't know. I don't know.
Otherwise, it's this, and that doesn't feel right to me. So it feels like this feels kind of relaxed. Like
that looks better than.
I thought so.
The other posture, so
yeah, I felt that.
Okay. As long as you're comfortable, that's all that matters.
I'm feeling comfy.
Good.
This is a nice chair. I did a good job finding these chairs.
They are nice.
They are nice. Anyways, how are you? What's up with you? Back in the Big Apple.
Back in the Big Apple where she belongs. Nothing much. I just been cleaning today, doing laundry. We've got manager Brittany's coming to stay with me this week.
We don't need to talk about it. The FOMO's real.
Very excited. Other than that, I told you maybe coming down with a cold. So knock on wood.
Aren't we always? One of us notoriously always having a cold.
Yeah.
Especially
and it's crazy. You know what? I'm pretty pissed off. And I think I brought this upon myself. I always do, and I need to stop doing this. Is this morning, I was like, wow, I haven't been sick in so long. I was like, I feel really good that, like, I haven't had a cold. Like, I haven't really been sick in, I can't even remember the last time I was. And then this afternoon, I was like, my throat's feeling a little
that scratched. Is, like, maybe, I think top 5 worst feelings is when you're just sitting there and all of a sudden your throat just feels a little dry and you're just trying to drink water and you're like, why does like, but you never realize it in the moment. You're always like, oh, my throat feels a little dry, but like the water isn't like helping. Like, I wonder what's wrong. Bitch, you're getting sick
You're
every
getting sick.
time. You can, and then you can tell, and you just like, you just watch it happen. You
It's
just
a
like,
slow
you
descent.
feel, yeah, it's like slow motion. Like you feel it happen. You feel the like slow come
You
on of
definitely
people.
go through the 5 stages of grief
Yeah.
where you're in denial. You're like, my throat's just dry. Like, maybe it's
No, it's gonna
allergies.
be fine. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna
Let me take a quick allergy pill. Like, must just be. And I also too was thinking, I'm still hopeful this might be the case. Is that like I did a lot of dusting today,
That'll get you.
and
That will get you.
so I'm like, it could really just be upsetting my nasal passages. So I'm still a little bit in the denial phase. I'll tell you what. I'm still in the denial phase because I'm like, okay, well, I dusted and I got in the crevices and I like used a lot of chemicals today. So I'm
Okay.
like, it could be that.
Be a
So
chemical reaction. You're right.
yeah. So we're hopeful on that one.
It's when you know
Mm-hmm.
is when your nose starts getting like it's to like at the back of your nose. It's not just your
Mm-hmm.
throat anymore. It's like the back of your like
It's creeped up.
nasal passage, and you keep going like it's and you're just like,
Mm,
yep, that's it. We're done for. That's when you know it's over.
yeah. So it's not over yet for me.
Okay, well that's good. That is promising.
Fingers crossed, everyone manifest minute
It ain't
that
over
I am
till the
not
fat
getting
lady
sick.
sings. So,
So,
and I have not sang yet on this podcast.
how was your first day or two of being gluten free?
Yeah, I'm on a new journey. I feel like I just keep going on those story, and I'm like, I'm on a new journey. Um, and it's like all these things. People are like, is she okay? Is she gonna go on an ayahuasca trip? Like this, I
The
keep
answer is no, we're not
maybe.
okay. I don't think we've ever projected the air of being okay.
No, I've never been okay a day in my life. However, like I just feel like people are like, Kate might be going crazy because she's like, I'm on a running journey. I'm going gluten free. Like, is she well? No. But I'm not
Again, I
I'm not
say
as
no.
unwell as you might think that I am. Like, and I'm not just like choosing this. I'm not just like, I'm just going to go gluten free for fun. Nothing I would ever do. I am working with a doctor who told me to do this. So I'm not on like a personal self reinvention journey. I am on an actual health journey. So I'm probably gonna do a couple like some content around it because people feel very interested in it. And if you don't like it, then don't watch. But I have been working through a lot of health issues with my doctors. It's been like a couple years now, but they're like finally just taking me seriously. Hashtag women's medicine.
Bro,
Um,
what's in the water? You and me both. Like, I feel like we both have had like come to Jesus moments with our doctors in the past
literally.
month.
And I'm like,
And
bro,
they're
I'm not
like,
making it up. Like, look at me, listen to me, hear me, feel me. I am not making this up. And
literally.
they're finally taking it seriously, which is so wonderful. Love to be validated. But we're working through some stuff and treating a couple different things. So I am currently I'm on my running journey, which was kind of related, but kind of
Mhm.
not. Just in the way that I was like, I work out a lot and I feel like I am generally pretty healthy, but I also know that like my cardiovascular strength
Mhm.
and stamina could be a lot better. I do a lot of like lifting at the gym. I
Mhm.
don't do a lot of cardio. And I have like high blood pressure and high cholesterol that runs in my family and like a lot of
Same.
heart issues. So I'm like, I just kind of want to be like, okay, am I doing, especially if I have doctors that are now like taking me seriously, like I want to be able to prove like I'm doing everything that I can for myself. I'm not just like, oh, woe is me. Like I'm not doing anything and I'm not seeing any like
Right.
benefits, like health results. So I was just like, I'm gonna get back into running. So I've been doing that, and then I'm also um trying to work on my sleep. We're doing a sleep study soon. So keep me posted on that because your girl's nervous. I'm like, what do you do? Do I have to put like IVs in my hand in my own
Do you
house?
have
I
to
don't know.
go to sleep in a place?
No, there was 2 options. I could go in the lab, the sleep lab, and I was like, physically can't be watched sleeping, so I
That's
won't
why
be
I'm
going
like,
there.
that would not never work for me
That would
because if
never be
I
an accurate
never
night.
sleep well,
Yeah, that would
it's
not be an
a night
accurate
in
night
a
of sleep for
place.
me.
Yeah.
They'd be like, "Wow, you are fucked up," and I'd be like, "No, it's just because you watched me." Um, but so I'm doing the home one where like I think there's like electrode like pads that you probably put on like maybe your head or like your pulse points or something. It's a lot about like your breathing and like when you wake and stuff. So I think there might be stuff on like your lungs. I don't really know. Keep you posted. But I'm doing that. I have like a whole like sleep routine right now that I do think has been really helping. But a big part of what we're doing is we're trying out a gluten-free lifestyle for me. And so yeah, yesterday was my first day of like fully being gluten free because it was Nick's birthday weekend, and I was like, I got him a reservation at a really good Italian restaurant, and I was like, I'm obviously gonna like eat a
Yeah.
pizza there.
Mhm.
So I have been like slowly incorporating some like gluten free things into my life over the past couple weeks, but as of yesterday, I am fully gluten free and I mean, obviously, I haven't felt any differences yet because
Right.
someone it was in our DM saying it takes 30 days for gluten to fully be out of your system, like for
Mm.
it to like fully flush out. So I'm planning with my doctor to do this for 2 months, to see how things go. But I mean, so far so good. Um, People are really great at giving me like tips and advice and things to look out for, but like I also know that I'm very lucky in that um this is kind of like I'm choosing to do this rather than like
Mhm.
I have to do it.
Yeah.
And I am doing this at a time where there is a lot more options than there have been historically. So like I really feel for people that have been doing this for a long time and are like finally they're getting foods.
Mhm.
But it's been really interesting just even like having to think about it in an extra way. So like I had a work outing yesterday and we ordered Panera for lunch, and so like even just having to be like, okay, I need to like look on this menu and like find what I can have on there and like substitute, like tell them it was the worst. I had to tell them no bread, no
No
chip, and
bread.
give me an apple, and I was like so upset about it, but it was fine. And then I said I'd say no cookies, sub fruit cup, which was like devastating.
Devastating.
So I did go to a coffee shop and I got a gluten free cookie to bring with me because I was like, I actually can't be left out of the cookie time when everyone brings out their cookies.
Yeah.
But it was a really good cookie. It was an oatmeal raisin. I love
Mhm.
a classic, and it was delightful. I got some gluten free bagels, so I made like a breakfast sandwich with them. So far, so good. I think it'll be interesting because I do have a decent amount of traveling coming up. So I think it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Like when I'm like not in like my comfort zones of like at
Yeah.
home or like at work. Like I know that my work has gluten-free bread and I know that like what their gluten-free options are.
Mhm.
So I feel pretty safe like with all of that, and like I know that I can buy stuff. I think it'll be like going out to eat in a place that I am not as like comfortable.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. Everyone I've talked to like has been like it's really not as hard as it sounds, and a lot of people have been like you're going to feel amazing. Like it is like such a good feeling. So, I love a food challenge.
You do.
I love a set of rules to follow. Um so we'll see, and hopefully
And
this
that's
is
why it does not work for me because I hate
you hate
rules.
a rule. You hate a rule. Nicole is going to find a loophole. And if there's not a loophole, she's just going to create a loophole and be like, this is a loophole. And then she's going to make it up.
I know. I'm like, I saw something about like how PCOS, a lot of people are should not be eating dairy, and I was like, you're asking me to give up cheese?
Yeah, tough.
I don't know if I can do that.
That feels a lot harder than gluten, actually, for me.
That's like the one thing where I'm like I could give up milk, I could do dairy-free ice cream, right? But like
Hmm.
cheese.
I know. That's really tough.
So
For me,
I'm
it'd be the
choosing
cottage
not to
cheese
play by that
variety.
rule right now.
Yeah. I feel like I could do it. The thing is the hidden milks, the hidden dairies in
Mm,
things, like it's an ingredient, but you wouldn't think like they use like powdered milk and things. I'm like, does that
mm.
have dairy in it? Probably. So can't have that. That's where I feel like it would get you.
Yeah, I don't know. Either way, you and I we're on a journey.
We're on some journeys.
So
What are the rules with these journeys? What are the laws with these
you
journeys?
guys are going to be privy to our new side quests.
Also, now that we've been talking, I'm like, ugh, my throat feels a little funky.
Now, maybe we're both coming down with something because we got it at the party.
Oh, maybe. I'm also getting my period today, so I'm just down bad, crying at the gym.
The two girls are just,
Not
we're crushing
great.
it.
Yeah, not feeling good. That's for sure. But we are because we're here together and having fun.
We're together and we're happy and we're excited to talk a little bit about some Formula One news this week.
Yes.
First of all,
Tell me.
how crazy was that ending for Baku?
That was nuts.
Like,
That was nuts. There is not a doubt in my mind. Carlos Kamikaze Checo.
that is our running
That's
working
our working
theory.
theory. Like it's like I know in my heart of hearts, like I know in like reality, Checo's car hit Carlos's back wheel and like forced him to like go sideways. But like if you watch it and you don't see that, like they're both going straight and then Carlos just cuts in front of Checo and brings both in the wall. And like that's what we're always asking them for in these races. Like we're like, oh, if like Max is really close to someone, we're like, okay, this person just needs to like Kamikaze Max and get him out of here. So it was nice to see it actually, come to
It was
fruition.
nice to see your dreams become a reality.
No, but in reality, I'm glad that they're both okay. And a crash like that is very scary, and I'm glad that no one was hurt. But I was also very happy that Charles got to stay on the podium thanks to Carlos.
I know. And they did say that they called it a racing incident. No one got
Yeah,
penalized. So they were just like, you both kind of just were competitive and it was what it was.
yeah,
But I think the funniest thing about that interaction was the differences in their radios.
yeah, yeah.
Where Checo was like, this fucking idiot. The fuck did he do? And Carlos is like, what happened?
Literally, what happened? He was
He was like,
so confused.
how could
Like
I have?
he was like, I don't understand. He was just generally confused about the scenario that he ended up here.
It was giving that, what was the one Pierre quote that we, oh my God, how could he do this to me?
Oh my
What
god,
was,
oh my god, why is he attacking me like this? Oh my gosh.
it was Checo to Carlos.
Literally. Like so funny. It's like it's the yep, that's me. Wait, you're
Bet you
wondering.
wonder how I ended up in this situation.
That's Carlos being like, I don't even know.
Yeah, I have no idea. It's a tough look, especially because Perez defrosted for his one good race of the year.
Literally. He crushes Baku usually and
And he was doing a great job.
yeah,
uh I think truly he would have eventually
gotten both
taken
of them.
Charles. Yeah.
Yeah.
um so
So
we're
Carlos
all
really did a solid for everyone.
so you know what, let's keep things exciting. Carlos said, I don't give a fuck.
I'm
What are they
going to
gonna do,
Williams
fire
next
me?
year. He's like, I'm going to Williams next year. I'm at least going to have some fun right now.
And I love that for him.
Yeah, me too. We need a
i
little
uh,
excitement.
I think I owe Franco an apology.
Why?
Well, last week I said it was rude of Williams to get rid of Logan because Franco's not gonna do any better in that car than Logan was going to.
You
And
ate your dang words.
Franco ended up scoring more points in the last race than Logan scored in the entire year. So I think actually his entire career in F1. So I will eat my words on that one. I will retract my statement. But him and Alex were pretty neck and neck. And so who's to say that Logan might not have also done well during that race?
Who's to say? We'll never know.
Who's to say? We'll never know.
That's something
Uh,
that we are just truly never going to know because it's not going to happen. So,
so I this is my notes app apology. Thank you so much for everyone who provided me feedback. No one did. But I'm gonna take this time to really learn and
reflect
reflect
as we should.
on my words and how powerful they can be. So thank you so much for giving me space to grow and to learn. Um I'll take this into the future with me and try to be better next time.
And I think we all appreciate that.
And that's all I can really do, you know?
That's all you can do. That's all anyone can ask of you.
Thank you so much for being gracious and
I'm nothing if not gracious, so.
someone who was not very patient this weekend, Lando. Him snitching on Max literally was sending me. Like, so many people got called to the stewards for virtual safety car
No, so funny.
infringements.
There was at least 5 of them.
Yeah, it was like George, Max, Magnussen, Joe. It was like so many of them. But Lando's basically snitching on Max, and he's like, Max is overtaking. And granted, this was post checkered flag. So the safety car was still happening, but they had all finished, and Max basically like overtook people to wave at Lando, and then B, give George a thumbs up and like congratulate him for podiuming. And Lando's on the radio like, is that allowed? Like that vine. Is that allowed? He's just like, Max is overtaking.
I'm actually like, I'm just trying
And
to wave at you.
and Lando has basically said, he was like, I wasn't trying to get him in trouble. I just was genuinely curious if after the checkered flag, like the rules didn't apply anymore. Okay. Such a George Russell move of him.
That is such a George Russell move. 100%.
Like, hall monitor George would do the exact same
Yes.
fucking thing.
No, he absolutely would.
So Lando, don't be mad that Oscar won this race and you started 17th, which he did make his way through the crowd, which pretty proud of him for, but don't be a baby.
And we gotta say, where did Danny finish?
13th.
He just loves to be 13.
I don't know what it's. Is this a Taylor Easter egg? Like, is this a reputation at midnight Easter egg?
Because everyone says that Danny needs to be in his reputation era, even though he's like very much not. Maybe it is.
Like Josh Allen, Travis Kelce, Daniel Ricciardo, 13. Taylor Swift's favorite number is 13. Like, I think we can create a web. I think we can create a conspiracy here.
Yeah. There's something going on.
There's something going on. Danny's infatuation with the number 13 needs to be studied. Because it's every single week.
Every week. You just look at the leaderboard and you're like, don't even have to look to see where Danny is, because guess what? He's 13th.
He's 13th. And I don't know if this is unlucky 13 for him and it's some sort of a witch put a curse on him, and he's just destined to finish here for the rest of his life.
It is Liam Lawson. Because there are like major rumors that VCARB is about to announce Liam Lawson as their driver, to the point where like there are like accounts that are like generally actually pretty believable sometimes, saying confirmed, like breaking news, Liam at VCARB.
Yeah.
So he is definitely hexing Danny to make that a reality. But like, do we think that that's definitely going to happen? Because I think without a doubt, I think that Liam is going to be at VCARB. And then is it Yuki or is it Danny?
It's Yuki.
And I think
I think Yuki's already been re-signed.
Oh, I think you're right.
So and we talked about this last week that like I'm already convinced Danny's not racing next year.
Yeah.
I just don't think he has what it takes unless Red Bull says fuck Checo and puts Danny in the Red Bull car, which would be a crazy move.
Crazy move, because he's not even better than Checo right now, and Checo's not being great.
So it would be a crazy move, but like crazier things have happened. I don't know. And last week we were talking about how we wanted Lance Stroll to win the championship with Newey at Aston Martin. So like, let's just throw caution to the wind. Let's just lean into the chaos of predicting absolutely bonkers things. And who's to say? Danny and Christian and Max, dream teams back together. They're getting the band back together, maybe.
Maybe. We'll see.
For the former glory, the synergy needs to be there. Because I don't know.
Does Max even still want to be at Red Bull? Like, that's a question on a lot of people's minds. Who knows?
who's to say? Max, like, I'm so curious.
I mean,
Like,
if I was Max, I'd be like, guys, what's our plan for next year? Because this is embarrassing.
which is so funny because obviously, like, Max is upset and Checo's been struggling with the car, right? And Christian just came out with a quote this week about where they've been able to pinpoint where Christian basically admitted that they know where the issue like came from
Okay.
with the cars. And he goes, we traced a development history, and it turned out the first mistake we made was with an underbody upgrade in 2023 Barcelona. That was also the race Checo started having problems, but we didn't take it seriously because Max kept winning. And now I don't know if you'll recall, but there is a scene in Drive to Survive that went a little viral, where Christian and Toto are fighting, and Toto goes, you need to fix your car. And then Christian goes, you need to fix your car. And he goes, no, I have the receipts. Checo's been complaining about your car and how bad it is. And turns out Toto
That
was
was
right.
true. Toto's receipts were correct. People should have been taking his receipts seriously.
He said, no, Checo's been in my ear, chirp, chirp, chirping about how bad this motherfucking car is. And you don't give a shit about him because Max is doing okay. So just a little something to noodle on, just a little something to think about.
That's interesting.
That
Okay, catch. That's why they're not ditching Checo, because Checo's like, I will ruin you. I will tell you. I will tell everyone that the reason that I've been doing bad the past few years is because the car's actually been bad and you wouldn't listen to me.
he's turning it into like a race thing with Helmut Marko. He's like, this bitch is racist, and I'm gonna sue him for malpractice or whatever it is. He's going to HR. He's like, you guys
Medical malpractice.
could be.
It's mechanical malpractice, though.
So Red Bull, their Max finished sixth, I think. Crazy. Who's to say? But unless they put Danny at Red Bull in a Hail Mary type situation, I believe Liam will be at VCARB and Danny is going to be pursuing other creative ventures in 2025.
It's like, I almost feel like Max at this point, because I feel like you would never think that in the scenario that he's in right now, like not having won a race in a while, like you wouldn't think that he'd be like driving up, passing people to be able to like wave at his friend and like thumbs up to someone else. I feel like he's in his Chapel Rowan era where she's like, I almost hope I don't win a Grammy, so then people will stop expecting shit from me and I can just like relax. And I feel like that's Max. I feel like he's like, honestly, I hope I don't win this year, because then people will stop like expecting things from me and like paying attention to me.
Yeah.
So,
and you know what? I mean, we've been saying for a while that we think this isn't even what Max wants to do.
No.
Max wants to open a cat cafe. Max wants to be a Twitch streamer. Max wants to be a child.
I feel like he definitely wants to do more of like the esports, like e-racing. At the like, I don't think he's long for the F1 world. I think he's like, all right, came it, did it. I don't need to keep doing this.
I came, I saw, I conquered.
Exactly. Now what?
Yeah.
So
I'm excited to see how the rest of the season shakes out. McLaren's supposedly bringing more upgrades, which is crazy because they're already doing so well.
Oh, well.
So let's see what kind of magic they can make in the next couple of races. But things are continuing to be spicy around here.
Things are definitely heating up, staying hot.
And I think on the subject of Liam potentially coming in, I know we're still waiting to hear who is going to be Nico's driving partner or teammate at Sauber next year.
Yep.
And a lot of the talk around town is that it's going to be Bottas.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
So
poor Joe.
I know, poor Joe. But I think they're like having two veteran drivers like the year before this new team takes over, I think will probably be pretty good for them and pretty wise in terms of like development.
Mm-hmm.
So that feels likely. I don't know what's in store for Joe, but I hope
I'll
he
be
sticks
sad.
around.
I'll be so sad.
I
I love
know,
him. I'll be so sad. I
which
mean,
is
I get
crazy.
it, but I also am like, dude, Valtteri does not want to be here anymore.
Yeah, and
Like,
let him run free.
but I mean, if he does want to be here still, then like good for him. But I mean, I think it's a good plan if they want to go for like um experience, but also like Haas did that and it didn't help.
Yeah, but they're already an established team.
But
I think.
also, speaking about Haas and how they tried that and it didn't really work, we're gonna get some more details on that whole
I
scenario.
know.
We're getting
Gunther's
details on the
foot.
scenario because Guenther is saying what you read last summer, scratch that. Forget I said that. It's time for my actual tell all. And
He's
I
writing a tell all.
cannot wait.
His NDA expired, and he said,
Hmm.
"I'm putting it out, bitch."
I literally can't wait. Like, it's gonna be so good. It's gonna be like I need to know everything. Like his description when he was talking about it, he's like, I'm gonna tell you everything about my time at Haas from when I started the team to when I was vindicated from it last year or something like that. And I was like,
When he was released, like he was like, "I
yeah,
was set
I
free."
need to see what exactly his words were because it was kind of everything to me. Say liberated when he was liberated.
Liberated.
Yeah, he said my new book Unfiltered will be published 1 month from today, and he said this on September 10th. So October 10th it comes out. A year in the making. It covers my full 10 years with Haas F1, from setting up the team and getting the license to finally being liberated last December. It's all in there. The highs, the lows, and the language. You can pre-order today. Can't wait for you guys to read it. Like, he's about to tell us really what happened, and I can't wait.
Okay, so Gunther coming back on the pod.
Yeah, Guenther was book club
Fireside
round
chat round
2.
two.
Yeah, I can't wait for this book.
It's gonna be
It's
amazing
gonna be so good. Like we're all reading it together for sure.
for
We
sure.
all have to. But if you don't want to read it, we will be giving you the spark notes on this podcast. Don't you freaking worry.
We'll be doing the
Um,
TLDR.
you know we love to talk about a book on this podcast, so
One thing about us.
oh, I just turned my flashlight on. Scary stories reading Hunter's book.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. It'll be good, and
That's
yeah,
all I got to say
that's all I have to
about
say about
that.
that. Okay. Another thing I want to talk about in terms of new drivers and silly season, Kimi Antonelli. Now,
Yeah.
we have talked at length about him and how we truly believe that Kimi has been brought up too fucking early. But Ted recently said that he is comparing the hype around Kimi to that of Michael Schumacher. And he goes, 3 deep with photographers at the front of the garage, and I haven't seen attention on a driver like this since the Michael Schumacher days.
Let's
That
just pile
is,
a little more pressure on this poor fucking kid.
I
He's
mean, look what
doomed.
happened to Mick.
He's literally doomed. Like, and I hate to be like negative Nancy, like doom and gloom, but like this kid is doomed. I just pray that he has good support, good family, good friends, like a sports psychiatrist. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he needs to have his circle tight because this is what happened. Like, it's I'm not gonna keep talking about her, but it's like a Chaperone, like Sabrina Carpenter kind of thing, where like they both had been working for a while, like he's been driving for a while, but then they both got kind of like flung into the mainstream and like are everywhere now. And now everyone knows who they are and everyone wants them all the time. And they're on
Mm-hmm.
magazines, they're performing like everyone now wants to know every single thing about them. Everyone has expectations like, okay, Chapel, you're like, when is the new album coming out? Like, when do we get more music? Like, Sabrina, your album was amazing. Like, what's next? What's next? What's next? And I feel like that's when people start to like fucking crumble. Like that's like
Mhm.
you have to have good people around you because that kind of pressure is like insane and just takes
Mhm.
such a toll, especially like on someone so young. Like that's
So
a
young.
baby. That's a
Yeah.
baby. And I am just like, I mean, you just hear it like child stars, dude. Like we're all wondering why people go this way. Like you think
Mhm.
of Lord, who like was a baby teenager when she became like the most famous musician like in the world for like her moment,
Mhm.
and she's just like, "Yep, I'm a recluse now. Like I don't come outside
Yeah.
because I don't want to be around."
Yeah.
And I just really fear for Kimmy. Especially F1 is fucking ruthless.
They're like, okay, well, Max came into Formula One when he was, 16. And they're like, yeah, he started at Toro Rosso, which was the junior team, and he did not have that much pressure. He had time to kind of grow.
Yeah.
And so so our favorite man, who I in a recent episode said, who sorry to this man, who is this man? Jacques Villeneuve said, it doesn't matter what should have happened. Toto decided when he, Antonelli, was 11 or 12 that he had the next Max Verstappen. He will put him in an F1 car as quickly as humanly possible, which is when he's 18, ready or not. And Toto will not want to see that he is not ready. It's obviously too early, the way he put it in the wall at Monza in his second lap by overdriving right away. He was then asked whether Antonelli needed to start his F1 journey with a team like Williams, where his F1 2025 teammate George Russell spent his first 3 seasons before getting his Mercedes call up. And he said, yeah, but Williams would probably not have taken him. Williams is not in a mindset to prepare drivers for other teams now. And so Toto claps back and he basically says, obviously, we've learned the lesson. George was maybe too long at Williams. He did some of the mistakes at Williams where he was not so visible. Now we fast tracked Kimi. Mistakes are going to be more visible because he's in a Mercedes. I don't know if that's better or worse, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean,
So,
it's like, okay, it has to be something where like, okay, you have to know that and you have to make sure he knows you know that and that you
mhm.
are not expecting him to be perfect. Like you like I just really worry about him and like mentally I worry about him
Unless
because that's a
Mercedes is
lot.
going to be like Williams next year and their car's just going to be ass and they don't
Yeah.
anticipate that they're going to be like competitive.
Yeah.
Which could be the case. I mean,
I mean, it could be. And I mean, I
they
don't hope for
basically
that
said
for them,
after
but
they basically said after Baku that they were like surprised. Obviously, George got the podium because of the crash, and they were just like, do not have high hopes for the rest of the season with this car. So
yeah.
maybe that's the case for 2025 as well. But like, I just I'm not very excited for Kimmy just because like I'm worried about him.
Yeah.
Just based on like how Logan was treated and like I mean obviously both um Franco and Ollie scored points this past season or this past race, so like there is some hope, but I just being at Mercedes is going to be it's
That's
going to
where
be
it's
putting him through the
tough.
ringer.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm thinking about him.
So, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting, but I mean, I hope for the best for him,
Mhm.
but I really just I hope that he has good people around him that are going to help him kind of navigate the world and stay sane because
I
I
can't
think it's
imagine
easy to
being
not.
18 and having that sort of pressure.
Like yeah. And I feel like it's also like people don't give it enough credit where like this sport is so much more visible now. Like
Mhm.
that's added pressure. Like these drivers are like kind of celebrities now and not just in like the F1 world. Like people know who these people are. Like they're on Dumois. They're going to the Met Gala. Like people other than just Lewis. Like they're going places. They are notable people, and like
Mhm.
that's a whole nother amount of pressure in itself.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's where it's kind of I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. Famously so, we'll see.
Yeah. We're always gonna see.
But that's what I had on the agenda today. Anything that's top of mind for you that you want to discuss?
I felt like that was a really good agenda, Nicole. You did a great job.
Thank you.
I don't really have a lot to say. I mean, this weekend is Singapore, right? This weekend?
No, I
Next
think
weekend?
we have a week off this
Okay.
weekend.
So, well, Singapore's the next race, I
Mm-hmm.
believe. And that's always a fun one. So exciting for Singapore, night race, like famously one of the hardest races. So,
Mm-hmm.
Franco, get
Good luck.
ready. Good luck. No, I think this season is kind of a weird one. Like I feel like the vibes are kind of off and I don't really know what it is. It's getting
I
a
don't.
lot more
Yeah.
fun, but I also am like, what's going on? I don't know. But
Oh, speaking of Singapore,
oh,
Red Bull came out and said that they're ditching their one-off liveries for Singapore, like their custom ones, because they need to save weight. And they're worried about like everything else, and they're like, we don't think we're going to perform very well like, with a custom livery. So
what was their
that'll be
liver going to be
interesting.
made out of?
I have no idea.
Hysterical. Yeah, it's a weird season. I think that like F1 has kind of hit its pinnacle.
Yeah.
And I don't really think it knows where to go from here. I don't think anyone really does. So I think it's going to be interesting. I think there's a lot of eyes on the end of this season of like
Mm-hmm.
now that it's competitive again and like it's feeling a little more exciting, like what's going to happen the rest of the season. Like we have some of the most exciting races coming up still. Like Singapore is a great one, like iconic night race. We have, we have Austin coming
Mm-hmm.
up. We have Vegas again. And like, I don't know, year 2 of Vegas. So like, are they gonna have like learned from mistakes last year? What is it gonna be like this year? Because you know that the second year is always bigger than the first.
Mm-hmm.
Like remember the second year of Miami was just like way bigger and
Yeah.
better than year 1. So I'm really intrigued what happens at Vegas, and I think the championships are like getting closer and closer. So it's going to be a very interesting end of the season that I don't think we've seen a season like this in a while. Like not even the year like that it was like Max and Lewis neck and neck the whole time. Like this
Yeah.
is like the first time in a while like it just feels a lot more like competitive as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
But the vibes are weird. I don't know what it is. The
I
vibes
know.
feel strange with
I know. I'm
everyone.
like, is it because are we getting old?
Yeah.
And they're like, is it because we're getting old and like everyone's younger than us now?
We're the crotchety old fans
Yeah,
now.
now we're like the old men who yell at clouds. Like, are we becoming the thing we sought to destroy? I
You
hope not.
either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
I
So,
hope not. I hope
questions
not.
we have to ask ourselves.
So I'm excited to see Singapore. It's obviously one of our favorite races, top bucket list for us
Yeah,
race.
for
So
sure.
maybe one day we'll be able to get there and see it IRL.
Would love.
But
Until
until
we go
next
to
week, guys,
Singapore. We'll see you on the
we'll see you on the internet.
internet. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of TG1F, an F1 podcast with Kate and Nicole.
If you like what you heard, don't miss out on the fun between episodes.
Keep up with the chaos on Instagram at 2 Girls 1 Formula. That's spelled out TWO Girls numerical 1 Formula.
And check out our website, twogirls1formula.com, to shop cute fan-made F1 merch.
See you next week.
But like we said, in the meantime, we'll see you on the internet.